Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So what is your favorite weed? Well, mine is Spurge. You want to find out why that is? You better stay tuned. Alright, so welcome back to Season 4, Episode 21, here on Dwayne's World. And I gotta tell you, this season has been a very challenging season as it relates to one specific weed. And that weed is my favorite weed, and that is Spurge. I continue to battle the Spurge every season, and no matter what I do, I really have a tough time eradicating it from my lawn. You know, I could spray it, it goes away, then it comes back, spraying it again. This constant battle that I keep fighting over and over again throughout the growing season. Now, initially, when I put together this video, it was really just meant to be able to show you guys how I treat the Spurge in my lawn. However, there was something kind of new that I came up with that I'll show you guys a little bit later in this video. So with that, let me go ahead and break out the tank sprayer, go ahead and load it up, and show you guys what I'll be using to spray out the Spurge. Okay, so before I actually talk about the contents of the backpack sprayer here, let me just talk about the backpack sprayer itself. For those of you that are new to my channel, what you're looking at here is an Alientabi backpack sprayer. I picked it up on Amazon. Kind of looks like a flow zone, but at the same time, I've had very good success with this. I think I paid about $200 for this particular unit, bought the 2-year warranty just in case, and I have had zero problems with it to date. Now, one thing I did have to invest in is I did have to invest in tips and adapters to be able to make this work the way I wanted to. But what you're looking at here, pretty much from this part up here is what I purchased on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. But basically what I have is a TeeJet nozzle. One thing you absolutely want to make sure you're using anytime you're throwing down any type of foliar application. Now, I also do have a flood jet tip here, and this tip is basically used anytime you're trying to apply any liquids that you plan on watering in right away, such as a pre-emergent or maybe even a fungicide. This particular tip is going to do much better for that particular application. It's going to have a much heavier droplet. But again, in the case of a herbicide, you're going to want that fine mist. And this particular TeeJet nozzle is definitely what you're going to need. I'll go ahead and link all of this in the description below. So that way, if you guys are new to lawn care or new to backpack spraying, you'll have the right equipment to be able to give you the best result. So let's go ahead now and talk about some of the products here that I'll be adding to my Alientabi backpack sprayer. All right, guys, so I've already loaded up my backpack sprayer, but let me show you what I put in it. I put in 3.2 grams of the Celcius. Celcius is a great herbicide that you can use on warm season turf. Definitely takes care of 90%, 95% of all weeds in your lawn. The one thing it does not treat as well is crabgrass. However, it does take care of baby crabgrass. Now, one other thing you also always want to add to any type of herbicide is you do want to add a surfactant. So I went ahead and took care of that, as well as adding some blue marker dye, just so I can see the areas that I've already sprayed. All right, so one thing to keep in mind, anytime you're mixing up any type of herbicide, is only make up how much you actually need. Do not try to store this product, as it's going to be much less effective if it just sits on your shelf in a liquid form. So I added 2 gallons of water to my backpack sprayer here. Again, 3.2 grams for every gallon, so that's 6.4 grams total of the Celcius, along with about a half an ounce of surfactant. Again, I do not want to make too much of the actual product because it's not going to do me any good if I don't have anywhere to spray it. So let me kind of just show you the lawn here, just so I can give you an idea of how much Spurge I'm actually battling. All right, guys, so hopefully it's coming out on camera here. But basically, if you kind of look in this general area right here, I have quite a bit of Spurge. It almost looks like there's a shadow or just like a darkness to it. But I do have some areas along the concrete here, as you guys can see, where I also do have some Spurge. And then when I'm kind of looking throughout my lawn, I just have a couple of areas where I do have to take care of them. You know, there's a little spot right there, and a couple areas here by my kids' playhouse that I'll be able to take care of. All right, guys, so let me kind of just jump in here and kind of talk about herbicides in general. As you guys saw there, I went ahead and used Celcius. However, Celcius is not the only option. I get it that there are going to be people out there that think, Dwayne, it is absolutely atrocious that I would spend that amount of money on a herbicide. And I get it. But there are a lot of other options you can take advantage of as well. I think in California, though, I'm a little more restricted than in maybe other parts of the country where you have more options. So definitely do your research. If you do live in California or another state that is a little more restrictive, you can take a look at a couple of different options. One of the other options I would probably go with, if I didn't have the Celcius, are things like a 3-way. When I'll put one up on the screen here, like TeeJet Select is a herbicide that I have that works both on cool season and warm season turf. Now, in addition to TeeJet Select, there's other Spurge killers you can definitely try if you're just specifically battling Spurge. Again, I'll put another example up here on the screen. So there are different options that you can definitely go with to be able to treat the weeds in your lawn. However, one of the things I just want to stress is make sure you are following your label rates. With that, let's go ahead and get back to the video. So again, I'm thinking it's less than 2,000 square feet. So I think the 2 gallons that I mixed up should be enough. You know, I do have some areas along the back there also. So again, we'll see. If I need an extra gallon, I'll mix it up. But like I said earlier, I do not want to mix more than I actually need. So with that, let's go ahead and give it a spray. And I'm going to take you guys in for a POV. All right, so let me show you guys a fairly common mistake a lot of new people make when it comes to actually spraying weeds. One thing you do not want to do is you do not want to go back and forth over your weed because you're doing multiple applications at that time. Now, when I'm mixing up 3.2 gallons for every 1,000 square feet, it's with the intention that I'm only going over it one time. Let me give an example here of how you want to make sure you're doing it. As you guys can see there, I went ahead and covered quite a bit. However, there's still a little bit here. I may actually go ahead and spray that. And again, that's covering the area. So now I'm just going to continue to go through, look for areas that I need to spray, and we will be in good shape. Now in areas like this here, rather than spot spray, this is where I like to do a blanket spray. Again, I'm covering a large amount of the particular weeds in one single pass. As you guys can see there, I pretty much covered all of that there. Then come over here, small piece there, a little bit bigger. Again, wherever I can do a little bit of a blanket spray, I want to do that. So I have a little patch right here. I'm going to go ahead and just choose to do a little bit of a blanket spray. There we go. That side there, a little piece there. All right, kind of the same thing here. Come over to this side here, actually. Get this side here. Little piece there. Little piece there. Again, another blanket spray. Again, what I'll do, if there's areas here that I missed on part of that blanket spray, I'll just go ahead and actually fill in those areas there. I hope it's coming out on the camera here. You guys can see there's a lot of marker dye there. Again, that's going to keep me track of the areas that I sprayed. Got a little bit right here, a little bit here, here. And again, if there's areas that I felt like I missed with the blanket spray, I can go back and be able to fill in where any weeds were missed. All right, this is a pretty good patch right here. All right, guys, so because this patch here, I kind of overlapped right there, it's going to make sure I'm going to be cautious of those areas where I do not do a double application. This is where I showed you on the concrete here. All right, a little patch right here. Again, I'm going to do another blanket spray. Just be able to cover it all. So one of the things I just want to point out here is I did get a little bit of marker dye on my concrete. It's nothing to worry about. It's not going to leave any permanent stains. It'll pretty much come off in a very short amount of time. All right, guys, so let me kind of just jump in here for a minute. You know, in order to actually battle weeds in general in your lawn, one of the best defenses you can come up with is really getting down your pre-emergent early in the season. And I did do that. You know, generally I use prodiamine in the springtime. You know, because of my yearly allocation, I really can't use it again in fall, which I wish I would. So I normally switch it up to dithiopyr or even some other type of active ingredient, and I'll bounce back to prodiamine in the spring season. Now, one of the things I will say, though, is even though I've used pre-emergent, I still get weeds. Now, I will say, though, pre-emergent absolutely works, because when I first started in lawn care, I had a huge crabgrass problem, and I was able to fix that two different ways. The first way was to really get rid of most of it during that growing season, and then continue to bag my clippings. That way, those seeds don't continue to go back into the soil, and I got the same problem again next year. When I first learned about the proper way to apply pre-emergent, that first year where I've done that, I literally only had like 2 pieces of crabgrass. So that absolutely eradicated it. I have not looked back ever since. However, other weeds, broadleaves, and weeds like Spurge especially, I continue to battle year after year. Now, one of the things I did do differently this year that I haven't done in years past is I've been much more consistent at bagging my clippings. And the reason why I chose to do that initially had less to do with the actual spreading of weed seeds and more so just because I did not want to introduce more thatch into the lawn. And I'm using a catalyst with both the scarifying and the verticut cartridges to really eliminate as much of that thatch in the lawn as possible. Now, there's going to be multiple benefits in eliminating thatch in your lawn, but one of them is being able to get a lot of the weed seeds that actually hide within that thatch layer. And I figured, you know what, maybe this year might be the year that I could really eradicate as much of the spurge as possible. So that way next year, I won't have as big of a problem. It'll just get better from that point out. So with that, let's go ahead and get back to the video. All right, guys, so as you guys can see there, my little spurge problem has been addressed. But you know what? I did not use more than 2 gallons. It probably could have used like maybe another quarter to half gallon, but I was able to kind of stretch it out, make it work. You know, I may have missed a weed here or two, but it kind of leads me to one of the questions I'm often asked. So Dwayne, because you had so much spurge in your lawn, why didn't you just blanket spray the whole thing? Well, it is one option. And I would say that if more than 75, 80% of your lawn is full of weeds, it's probably the better way to go. Now, one thing I try to always be cognizant of is the fact that anytime you're putting down a herbicide, regardless of what type, even though it may say that it's safe for Bermuda, it doesn't mean it won't negatively impact your lawn. Meaning it could affect some of the greenness, it could get some slight yellowing in that area. So I try to minimize that as best I can. And that's where the spot spraying really comes in. Now, of course, I showed you guys I did do some minor blanket spraying over areas that definitely had a lot of spurge in one particular area. And the purpose of that blanket spray was really just to be able to cover that particular part of the lawn where I did have quite a bit of spurge within a small amount of square footage. So with that being said, there's a couple other factors I take into consideration. You know, Celcius, although I love that product, I'm actually kind of worried because I don't think I'm going to be able to get it, or it's going to be much more difficult to get here in California. So I do not want to waste it or do not want to use it any more than I need to because I'm already starting to run low. Now, I probably have enough to last me another season or two without it being a problem. However, if I had to blanket spray my entire lawn, I probably will need somewhere in the neighborhood of about 21 grams of Celcius, which will cover about 7,000 square feet at the full rate. That's a lot. Now, when I did my overseeding project in my backyard a couple years ago, that's what I did. I ended up blanket spraying the entire lawn. And it took quite a bit of Celcius for me to be able to do that. So it's not something I necessarily plan on doing unless I absolutely need to. And I don't think my lawn necessarily warrants it. Again, I prefer to spot spray, even though it may look like I blanket sprayed my entire lawn. Take a break. We'll come back in about 10 days and I'll show you the result. All right, guys, so it's been about 4 days since I threw down the Celcius to be able to kill off the Spurge, and kind of just show you what it kind of looks like right now. As you guys can see here, there's a little bit of yellowing. You could tell it's not living its best life. As you can see there, again, there's some discoloration. Definitely is on its way to dying. However, one thing I did do differently this time that's actually cleaned up the large majority of the Spurge in my lawn for now. Because as you guys can see here, because when I was showing you guys the same shot about 4 days ago, I'll try to show you the same shot and do a side-by-side. Try to do something different that I've never done before. And what that was use my California trimmer catalyst with a scarifying cartridge and then come back and mow. And let me explain why. When I come over to the lawn, what happened to it? Looks like it's gone. Well, let me explain what I did. All right, guys, so one of the things I did that actually turned out to work out really, really well. But I decided to break out my California trimmer catalyst with the scarifying cartridge, and I did a pass at about 5/8 of an inch. And when I did that pass, it ended up lifting up a lot of that spurge. Now, currently, I'm cutting my lawn at 3/4 inch. However, what I decided to do was to take it back down to 5/8. And the only reason I did is not because I wanted to maintain 5/8. I will bump it back up to 3/4. But because of the fact that the spurge now was all lifted out of the turf, I figured by lowering the height of cut, I might be able to cut out quite a bit of it. And that way, it'll pretty much end up dying on its own, because there won't be very much left of that spurge because I already hit it with the Celcius. And I got to tell you, I am absolutely shocked on how well that actually worked, because it got rid of probably 90% of the spurge that you guys had seen in my lawn. Now, time will tell whether or not it'll grow back. However, I don't feel like it will, like I said, because of the fact that I threw down the Celcius first. It had plenty of time to be able to absorb into the leaf, and now it should be on its way to dying if there's anything left underneath that turf. Yeah, and that is something I'm just even more so excited about, why I absolutely love the catalyst, because now I have a different way of treating my spurge in addition to using a herbicide, and now it gives me a much quicker result to be able to clear out my lawn, and that I'm really excited about. All right, guys, so let's kind of just take one final look here at the lawn. Like I mentioned, I got rid of a lot of that spurge, both through the herbicide, but more importantly, through the scarifying, and then cutting it down about 1/4 inch lower at 5/8 of an inch. Now, the color of my lawn here is looking pretty good, but I think it's time for another round of fertilizer, so that way I can get the green to pop even that much more. Now, again, this mow I did happened yesterday. I broke out the catalyst, took care of the scarifying, and then I broke out the California Trimmer Classic. And those are the stripes that you're looking at right now. Now, I do have a little bit of scalping, as you guys can see here, and that's mainly because I was cutting at 5/8 of an inch. However, cannot complain about the color, even though I brought that down and was afraid that I'll be taking off a little bit too much grass, but I still have quite a bit of green, and I will let this grow back up to 3/4 inch, and that's where I'll be maintaining it. But I gotta say, 5/8 of an inch, absolutely looking great. Definitely love how tight it is. However, like I mentioned in previous videos, 3/4 inch, in my opinion, is the ideal height of cut for getting the best color, the best stripe action, and doesn't ruin your life and the need to mow a lot more than I care to do. All right, guys, so I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, spurge, my favorite weed. What's your favorite weed? You can put it down in the comments below. I definitely want to hear from you guys on what weeds you guys are struggling with, because together we can work together to be able to knock out these weeds and really get the lawn that we all want. And that way we can have that awesome color and phenomenal stripe action. All right, guys, so I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, I really enjoy putting these videos together for you. You know, weeds are going to be one of those things. However, it is also one of the things I absolutely love about lawn care, because there's always something to fix. And that's what definitely keeps me going. What keeps you going? Comment down below. Let me know. And remember, regardless of what weeds you're battling in your lawn, in order to take them out, you need to be excellent. Party on.